I don't know if you've noticed this, but we live in an imaginary world. Not one of dragons or castles, but one created entirely on collective imagination. Borders, money, religion, all stories we agreed to believe. We kill, compete, and compare over things that do not exist in nature. The earth doesn't know whether that piece of land is America or China, and that tree certainly does not care what's in your bank account. And yet, we treat these inventions as sacred, as if they were infallible, unchangeable, unshakable. I know, because I nearly destroyed myself chasing one of those illusions. Success. It started long before college, back in high school when performance meant praise and silence meant shame. I focused on everything but myself, and especially my health. By the time I reached college, I still loved learning, but I had burned out my ability to enjoy it the way I always had. I pushed myself to stay productive, polished, and composed, the model student holding it all together on the outside while running empty on the inside. My body began to whisper what my mind refused to hear, with migraines, exhaustion, and anxiety that no accomplishment could quiet. All just for grades, ink on paper. Just an idea. No true diagnostic of success or even learning. And that's when I realized I wasn't sick from the stress itself. I was sick from the stress I created with my beliefs. Not unavoidable stress, but manufactured stress. The kind born from trying to earn what was already mine. Beliefs that my worth lived inside an imaginary system. Look closely at any system we defend. Government, currency, hierarchy. You'll find ink, paper, and imagination. Even war. The bloodiest illusion of all isn't fought for land, but for ideas, for flags, for power, for stories. We call it defense. We call it honor. We call it necessary. But what it really is millions of humans dying to protect lines drawn in the dirt by other humans. We're children fighting over toys that would disappear as soon as we stopped believing in them. Toys that decide who eats, who matters, who survives. We run on these treadmills of expectation, our hearts pounding and spirits starving, forgetting that we built the treadmills ourselves. This is the pattern of our species. We imagine, we forget we imagined, and we suffer inside our own creations. We turned stories into structures, structures into systems, and then systems into cages. But if we built it, we can rebuild it. So, I urge you to imagine a different world. Still imaginary, yes, but built with intention, with compassion, with truth. Imagine a world where the stories we tell heal, where our systems serve instead of silence, and where success means lifting, not climbing. A world where worth isn't measured by wealth, but by wisdom, integrity, and kindness. Imagine if power meant responsibility, if influence meant service. Imagine an economy of empathy, a politics of compassion, and education born of curiosity. We could still dream, still create, still thrive, but together, no longer against each other. The world isn't broken. It's the story we're telling ourselves about it. If that story was written by fear, scarcity, and separation, it's time for a rewrite. We live in an imaginary world, but that's not the problem. The problem is that we forgot that we are the storytellers. The pen was never taken from our hands. We just stopped writing and kept reading and living the same story over and over again. So imagine this one instead. A world where imagination isn't escape, but creation. A world where compassion is currency, where presence is progress, where peace isn't the prize, it's the starting line. We live in an imaginary world. So let's make it a beautiful one.